what's going on, everybody? This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. And you can see we are live. So let me make sure I got all my stuff here. And we got the live chat going. Yes. So let's see who jumps in here first. I am going to see. Oh, wait a minute. We got somebody in here. HT Logistics, first one in the chat. I just have to say thank you for coming by and for being the first one. All right. Everybody's trying to be the first one. So we got 1971 A. Edwards in the house. Philadelphia in the house. Champagne Davis up in here. Okay. Good stuff. Sharon's Poetry Corner. Lene Rainey. I love it. Alam Malas back in the house. Welcome back, Milan. Always tell us where you guys are from. And then we got Miami from Lene. We got Karen in the house. We got Vilo. All right, in the house. I've seen that before. So yes, I know you're back in here. It's 2000, okay, from Sacramento. And I recognize that name as well. I do have to remember that Frenchie is a woman. Right? We got Keith. We got HT, yes, Karen. All right, so you guys are throwing in where you're from. Rock Island, we got Australia, we got North Dakota, Tennessee, Woodstock, Georgia, North Carolina by way of Chicago with Frenchie here. All right, so this is excellent stuff. So now that you guys are on here, go ahead and throw a thumbs up in there. It's around here somewhere, so go ahead and throw the thumbs up. I don't blame you if you want to. I know you do, so just throw the thumbs up right up there so we can boost those up. And I want to shout out some more people who are jumping in here right now. Look at this. We got Terry Lynn in the house. Alvin, Chef TA from Atlanta. All right. So I love it. So you guys know I have on the board back here, what did you do? And I'm asking that question because we just had a holiday to pass. We just had Christmas and we just had New Year's. And I wanted to know, did you go out and you get sloppy drunk? Did you go out or go out to that buffet with your family and eat like you had never eaten before? Like you were crazy, like you had never seen food before. Did you go out and do that? Well, if you did, doesn't matter. We all did to some extent. I went out to a buffet myself with my family. However, I did stick with the salad and the sushi and the soups. I didn't go after the tainted meats and stuff like that, all of the sugar-ridden stuff like the processed pasta and the canned fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So I know that's what they serve at a buffet. Therefore, I try my best to stay away from it. So I want to know, what did you guys do on the holiday that actually could have ruined it a little bit? And remember, always remember, you can nowadays pick up 10 pounds in a weekend. You know, before it used to take 2 or 3 months, even 4 months to gain 10 pounds, just eating as hard as you could. Now, all you have to do is take a few bad meals over the weekend and then you can gain 10 pounds. And why is that? Well, nowadays we have something called insulin inflammation. The longer insulin remains in your blood, it acts as a poison and therefore it causes inflammation or swelling, and you tend to retain water. Your fat cells actually tend to intake more poisons and therefore your body won't let you burn that fat, and thus you pick up extra additional pounds that you don't want, that are very, very hard to get rid of. And that goes for you all who drink all the alcohol too. Okay, so let's see. What did you guys do as far as the holiday? How bad did you mess up? Or if you did something good like I did after I ate the bad stuff, I actually went and did a cleanse so that now my body can freely release those things. Now, I have not had a headache in over a year. However, when I did the cleanse, after I did the bad eating, and I ate bad for about a week and a half. Okay. And when I say bad, I don't mean I ate every bad meal. I went out and had cheeseburgers and steaks and macaroni and cheese. No, for me, bad is like eating the stuff that's not organic. It's still fruits and vegetables. It's still salads and a little meat, but I did have pieces of cheesecake. I did have pieces of carrot cake, stuff like that. So the sugars I did go into. However, you got to flush that stuff out of your body. And it did give me a headache once I flushed because I let the poisons enter my bloodstream. So it was pretty bad. It's a pretty bad feeling to have a headache for me because I don't have them at all. So here we go. So let's see. Happy New Year. Let's get it started. All right. His way. I like that. 1995. Jeff Haynes back in the house. Kalia back in here. I love it. So thank you guys for shouting it out. All right. Now, Sharon's Poetry Corner said that, please tell me that Celtic sea salt is healthy. I'm on a vegan diet, but my blood pressure is still too high. Is it the salt? All right. Now, salt is required to run your body. Celtic sea salt is one of the best salts you can ever eat as far as your nutrition is concerned. Remember, you need salt for almost every process in your body. That includes running your muscles and your neurons firing. So your neurons, don't forget, they're not just in your brain. They are in your intestinal tract. They're in your gut. So that's why they keep saying that 90% of your serotonin, your happy hormone, comes from your digestive system, and that's mostly because of the microbiome that goes on there. So Celtic sea salt, very good, top of the line, even above, for me, even above pink Himalayan sea salt. It's that good for you. So we don't want to overdo it on anything, though. Even the healthy stuff will actually have you get sick or have some side effects if you do too much of it. Okay, but if we're talking about supplements just get urinated or defecated out if you don't use them. So nothing wrong with those. Good stuff. Marcus Macon in the house, my cousin, big cousin from Illinois. All right, so good stuff, Marcus. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and throw them out there. That's what I'm here for. So I'm ready. Hopefully you are too. Let's see what we got here. We got another one. The Night App said, cannot afford to eat anything with the poison from the hospital in my body. Did you find it? No, I did not, because I did not write that one down. So I got to see. So it says gadolinium. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to have to write that one down. Okay. All right. I'm writing it down. Don't worry. And I got to get who it's from. Gotcha. All right. All right, here we go. Oh, Daryl Lumpkin back in the house. All right, so, all right, he said, what did you use for your cleansing? I don't know if he's asking me that or somebody in the chat that, but as far as the cleansing, for me, I did a saline wash, which is basically the pink Himalayan sea salt or Celtic sea salt with 1 liter of water, flushed out my system, and then I did a coffee enema to blow up and release the toxins from my liver, and that seemed to put everything right back on track the very minute that I released that toxins or release that coffee from the anus. Man, I cannot tell you how good it feels after you get that coffee out of there, because you know right after that you basically have a brand new liver. So that's what I get excited about, and that's what keeps your energy up. Your liver is the main determinant of your energy level. So if your liver is healthy, your energy is usually up there, and that's why you guys will see I'm not on speed, I'm not on crack, I'm not on coke, I'm not on anything that would give me energy. I don't even drink coffee. Okay, I know you guys, some of you are into the bulletproof coffee and stuff like that. Organic, fresh, grass-fed butter inside your coffee, bulletproof coffee. I want to try that, but I'm not going to stick with it as far as drinking it every day, because I don't like relying on stimulants. I like relying on my own body and ways it uses to fix my body. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Sweet lady back in the house. All right, I love it. Good stuff. HT Logistics says, do you believe sugar causes high blood pressure as well? Yes, and salt does not. So the thing is, most people think that salt actually causes high blood pressure, and that's why the doctor tells you to ease off on the salt. No, salt causes high blood pressure when the other mechanisms that cannot use salt, meaning the gradients that run across your muscles and the gradients that run across your nervous system, when they malfunction, salt builds up in your system, making it a poison, in this case, an adjuvant, something that will tear down the walls of your cardiovascular system. However, if your muscles are accepting correctly and your receptors are shaped correctly to accept the enzymes that are coming to them, guess what? Your salt intake has nothing to do at all with blood pressure if your body is working correctly. Sugar, however, tears down your cardiovascular walls way faster than salt does. In case you guys didn't know, sugar plus water is a solvent, and your blood is 91% water. Therefore, if that's the case and you bind those together, that means that they dissolve as they go through, meaning it'll tear down your red blood cells faster, your white blood cells faster, the walls of your blood vessels faster. So sugar is definitely the enemy when it comes to a human being. Stay away from processed sugar. Now, Having said that, nothing wrong with an apple, the sugar in an apple, the sugar in a pineapple, the sugar in a organic orange, organic fruits. Nothing wrong with that. Those sugars your body were built to manufacture, to handle. However, when you put processed sugar in there, it's something your body has never seen before, so it does the best it can. And usually that means we don't touch it, we don't process it much, we just stick it in the area where it will be out of the way. And usually that's your tissue. Tissue equals muscles and joints, cartilage, that kind of stuff. So yes. Okay. So 50 people on here right now. I can't do Facebook anymore because when I try to do Facebook through my cell phone, it eats up all the memory on the phone. So I can't do those, especially with how long we're on here. So let me go ahead and see if I got another question here. Look at this. Fred Dawson from the ATL has just jumped in. Frenchie, I see you. Okay. Helen Riley back in here. I love it. Helen Riley, I love it. All right, so who we got? It's 2000. I work in a hospital, and there are so many food, especially sweets, during the holiday. For the past 3 years, every December, I include 1 or 2 juices every day that help control my intake. That's good stuff, 2000, because that's what I do as well, because I will not skip a day without the juices. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Most of the time, and almost every day this year, I have done my juices. I missed maybe 8 days doing my juices, and I can count them because they came in the last month. Now, when I miss my juices, I feel terrible. Sometimes I'll get a headache. Other times I will feel my energy level drop because I didn't get my juice. I didn't have my supplements. I didn't have everything my body needs in order to keep it going at an optimal level. So sometimes I'll overdo it on the next day just to make sure that I get those vitamins and minerals back. I don't care if I overdose on supplements. Supplements aren't going to do anything. Okay, I do take it easy with metals, though. You can't overdose on metals. Like if you miss your iron supplement, you don't double up on iron. That will do something to your liver you don't want done. Okay, so good stuff. Now, let me see who else I got in here. All right, Kenner's in the house from overseas. I love it. All right, now it says, what is the best way to take L-glutamine? In liquid form. All right, Kenner's, I would say get it in liquid form. If you can always take the capsule, break open the capsule, mix it with a little bit of water, and let it sit under your tongue if you want it to get quickly into your bloodstream. However, just drinking it only takes about 15 minutes if your intestine is clean. Okay, so we got it all good. So these wonderful people over here, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. I see the thumbs up here. There are 49 people in here. That means there should be 49 thumbs up. If not, then I hope you find it in your heart to do so. All right, so here we go. We got another one in here. What does it say? It says, Andre Ferris. All right, what's up? From St. Louis, Missouri, Walnut Park. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I am from East St. Louis, Illinois. So right across the river from where you are right now. So love it, love it, love it. So hopefully you guys are having a good time there. St. Louis, in case you guys didn't know, most people are scared to go to Chicago because it is the medical capital of the nation right now. However, from the years 2002 to 2006, East St. Louis held that title for the most murders per capita in the entire nation, beating out Little Rock, Arkansas, Compton, California, places like that. So please keep and be safe when you're in these areas because metropolitan areas are ripe for violence. So take care of yourselves. Just had to throw that out there. Good stuff. So let's see. Jeff Haynes says, yes, can you please comment? I don't know. Did I miss it? You might have to copy and paste it again, Jeff, because I might have missed it. Good. So good. All right. Marcus Macon says, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you will not miss the next live stream. That's right. That's right. I'm trying to get the notification out there so that people know when it's going to happen, but I haven't been able to get around to it just yet because I have not an assistant. So like I said, I'm going to get on that. Okay, so good stuff. This year, we are doing some big things here, and I'm getting more and more clients. More and more people are scheduling to get into the course, and I am just ecstatic with how people want to improve their lives. And most people who come to me, they just want to get their lives back. And that's what's actually good for me. So it's good stuff. All right. Uh-oh, what was that? I heard a beep. Let me see. All right, who do we got here? Oh, we got some more people jumping in here. Joseph, Happy New Year. Michelle, hello, Michelle. How you doing? Okay, so we got Tina C from Southwest Florida. Good stuff. Cynthia Freeman back in here from New York City. Okay, so we got the core group in here today. I love it. The only person I'm missing is Dejang in here. She's part of the core group as well. So we got Delisa Macon in here. Hey, cousin, what's going on? All right, she says, what's good for interstitial cystitis? Now, the medical term cyst means two things. It means either a cyst, a technical cyst, or bladder. So let me know which one you are actually concerned about. So cystitis, I see. All right, now that's fancy language there. But when you say cystitis, all it means is inflammation of the bladder usually, and interstitial means between the cells. It means that your bladder is irritated, meaning that you have IBS, irritable bladder syndrome. So if that's the case, you don't want that because that means your nerves are malfunctioning. So if you're having to go to the restroom and you don't want to, or it's being forced out, that's a nerve problem, not a bladder problem. So you have to fix the nerves, not the bladder, because it's never what the thing is. It's always what's running to the thing. That's the root cause. That's why they call me a root cause analysis specialist. All right. I like to find the real root of a problem, not just the symptoms like doctors do in allopathic medicine nowadays. Okay. What do we got? Does my son need a tetanus shot if he stepped on a rusted nail? Alarm. Yes, he does. Okay, in this case, he does, because the only thing that's going to stop him from getting a disease is to quickly nip it in the bud. And here's the thing. The medication doesn't have to be taken for the rest of your life. It's a battery that has to be taken from 7 to 14 days, and that's it. It's over. You don't have to worry about it being continuously in the system. All you have to do after you're finished with the antibiotic or the antiviral that they give you, all you're going to do is flush it out of your system, and boom, you're right back to normal. That you do need because that's acute. That can go to your heart, that can go to your spleen, that can go to your liver and cause problems that can possibly over time shut it down. So yes, you do need the tetanus shot right now as far as that one is concerned. See, that's what the system is for, emergencies. That's an emergency. If you rupture your Achilles tendon, that's an emergency. If you don't fix that within 48 hours, you're stuck with it. They can't fix it. So that's what you're supposed to do. So hopefully nowadays we can get around that. Okay, so let me see what else I got. Kurth Gonzalez says, I sometimes wonder if those organic eggs are really what pay for. They are so hard. The shell doesn't boil, plus the yolk doesn't look real. All right, that's because you're used to looking at processed eggs. That's why. Processed eggs are more porous. The yolk, the eggs, you'll notice the shell breaks a lot easier. And when you do look at the yolk on a processed egg, it's usually a little bit off yellow. It's not stark yellow like in a organic egg. It's usually slightly off yellow. I've been going back and forth between the two to see if there is any difference, and I like the organic better. See, my wife, she gets turned off because it's a brown shell, and sometimes they have little brown things in there. But this means that they are not processed, and impurities happen in nature. So don't be afraid of it. The only thing I do say is, though, don't eat black eggs. If you crack an egg open and it stinks and it has a black yolk in there, the egg has spoiled. It has died in the path or route of being born. So stay away from those. Okay, that will get you sick. Okay. All right, now let's see. All right, so Jeff Haynes says, comment on MCT oil. I can't because I don't know what you're using it for. All right, so MCT oil, I need to know what the MCT stands for as well, because there's a lot of oils with a lot of abbreviations, and I don't know if I have the correct one that you're talking about. Okay, so let me know which one you're talking about as far as MCT oil. All right, can I use salt water flush if I have CHF and edema and a pacemaker or defibrillator? Of course, Stacey Jones. Yes, you can. Now, when you do this, you can go right back to eating normal, healthy meals, but all this is going to do is flush you out. Okay, this is talking about your digestive system. So if you don't have mouth or throat cancer, if you don't have colon cancer, this is going to work perfectly for you. The only people I do not want doing a saline wash or a flush is people who have a colon cancer or a mouth and throat, because that means they could have holes in their system, and the holes could cause the salt water to leak out into the thoracic cavity or the abdominal abdominal pelvic cavity, and that's going to cause swelling and extreme pain in the area. So I don't want things like Peyer's patches coming in. I don't want adhesions showing up in your intestinal tract because it stops the flow of your feces from coming out of your body. So that kind of stuff. So make sure on that, you don't have any contraindications or any allergic reaction to salts of any kind. But if you want to do it, yes, if all of your stuff from your mouth to your anus is intact and that's the only thing, you're completely fine. It's not going to make a difference with heart failure and congestive heart failure. In fact, it actually will help it. Okay, so we can actually get the blood pressure down in that case. All right, let me see. What do we got here? Oh my, the questions just keep on jumping up. All right, it says, 2000 says, what do you think of sweetener like Splenda? It's chlorinated sugar. So no, I don't believe in it at all. If you want to drink, get an alternative to real sugar, you should do pure raw cane sugar, which is brown in color, or do brown sugar, which is brown in color, or you can do stevia, which is a nice, unaffected part, low glycemic part of a real sugar plant. Okay, so that's fine. However, if you're trying to do stevia, Splenda, if you're trying to do equal, if you're trying to do sweet and low, all of them are based with aspartame or chlorine, both of which cause cancer or tumors in a human being. So leave them alone. Okay, here we go. Vince Gaddis back in the house. Vince, good to see you. It says, my wife has a thyroid goiter. We went to the doctor and they said the only way to remove it is by surgery. Is that correct? Of course it's not. A goiter is... it's usually formed by toxicity of the thyroid around the thyroid gland, and that could be due to crystalline structures forming inside of there. It means you have an overabundance of calcium in your blood. Now, if your calcium builds up in your blood, that means your skeleton is probably weak. That means the next thing she's going to hear is that she has osteoporosis. If that is the case, then what you have to do to get rid of the crystals is you have to break them down. First of all, you can't take in anything else processed because all that does is make calcium more abundant in your system, making more crystals, and therefore scratching up and irritating the tissues as it flows through your blood. And the goiter is going to appear in other places, like the bunions of your big toe, like it'll give you football elbows. It'll give you stuff like stiff hips. So when you start seeing those things, that means it's progressing way too far and too fast. So what do? First of all, you got to cleanse your body. And if you want to get the crystals to break down, the best thing for you to do for those is what someone mentioned earlier, which was Celtic sea salt. Now, I would suggest a saline wash or a cleanse so that your body can quickly start breaking down those crystals and getting rid of the goiter. Here's the problem. The more you move with a goiter, the bigger it gets. So if you can stabilize the head or on the neck and not turn your neck as much, that goiter, we don't want it to stay there, okay? Because the more you move it, the bigger it's going to get because the swelling is going to get because you're going to irritate the tissue with the little crystals that are inside of it, okay? So just stay away from those for right now. You add a little salt to your system, and you're going to need some antioxidants in there. Now, antioxidants come in any green that you want to pick. So if you want to do spinach, if you want to do chard, if you want to do kale, if you want to do broccoli, if you want to do collard greens, all of those have antioxidants in there. And if you want to go something stronger, if you want to do, make sure, because this is a blood disorder, make sure that you add either cilantro or parsley, things that are extreme blood cleaners because they are packed with antioxidants. All right. I would even say go spirulina or chlorella over and above those as far as supreme blood cleaners because they will break down your blood into its natural components so you don't have crystalline structures floating through your blood and causing irritations in your joints like a goiter does. Okay. So here you go. Terry Lynn. Wait a minute. Did I skip? All right, so Delisa Macon says, can you repair nerves around the bladder? Of course, you can. Now, those are not severed. The only thing you cannot repair is a severed nerve. But if you repair, can you repair a nerve? Yes. All you have to do is restore the myelin that's around the nerve, and guess what? The nerve acts correctly. See, the only reason a nerve acts up is if you wear away the fat that's on it and it starts rubbing up against another nerve. When they do, like an electrical cord, they short. And when they short, you now have a problem like IBS. So if that's the case, all you have to do do is incorporate omega-3 fats into your system. And that can be a fish oil, that can be avocado, that can be a variety of nuts, Brazil nuts, hazelnuts, walnuts, it does not matter, pistachios, but all of them are rich in omega-3s. And so you just got to remember, you got to be able to absorb them. So you have to make sure your intestine is clean so you can absorb the omega-3s. And then you're going to need a systemic enzyme to incorporate those quickly so that you don't have to be suffering with this for a long time. All right. Usually within about 30 days, this should be cleared up and gone away. So all you got to do is flush out your intestine. Okay. Get your omega-3 fats and take the systemic enzyme to actually have you incorporate those fats quickly so you can quickly restore the sheath around your nerves. Okay, good enough. Look at this. All right, so I can't stay on too long, but we're going to get to some more questions here. Hopefully, if I skipped your question, copy and paste it and put it back in again so I can get to it if I missed you. All right, Cynthia, thank you. Cynthia's helping me out. All right, she's answering Sharon's question there. So Sharon, look over to the right and see if your question has been answered by Cynthia over there. Good stuff. Now, let me see. Oh, no. We got a whole bunch popped up here. Let's see what we got. All right, Brazil, one nut has selenium for the day. The night app, good stuff there. I like that. And I would, at the beginning, as far as omega-3 fats, I do want you to overdose because if you are deficient, you need plenty to wrap around because you got to remember, you have hundreds of trillions of cells throughout your body, of which 100 billion are only in your head. So that means over your entire body, you have trillions of connections, okay? And you're making more all the time. So good stuff. Let's see. Good evening, LL Lewis, back up in here. I love it. So LL, I like it. Let me see. Sweet Lady's got a question. He says, Alvin, what are your thoughts about high absorption magnesium like Dr. Best to release calcium from the body? I love it. All right. So, and that's what you need, not to release it, to incorporate calcium, because calcium is what's needed for a lot of your bodily processes, including making your muscles work. Okay, so when you leach calcium off of your bone, when you drink sodas, carbonated drinks, carbonated wine, anything that has bubbles in it, just think it will tear down your skeleton. It will give you early onset osteoporosis over time because now people drink soft drinks way too often. I cannot believe when I go to the grocery store and I see so many varieties of sodas and bubbly drinks and carbonated drinks and waters on the shelves now, and people don't realize that if you drink those every day, you will develop osteoporosis and you will develop it early and your joints will break down. Okay, so stay away from the carbonated stuff as much as possible. All right, let me see. You're the best. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Delisa. I appreciate that. All right, it says, thanks, Cynthia. So answering questions. So thank you, Cynthia, again. I love it. Okay. Cynthia helping out with 2,000, milk thistle, even primrose oil, and DIM supplement on Amazon. Yes. And I love the DIM because my wife uses DIM right now. We got her on that. And now hot flashes gone. Okay. If you ladies didn't know the secret, DIM is the secret. If you are approaching menopause or you're already there and you're having tremendous hot flashes and you're having tremendous chills, DIM. It works. Finally, we found something that works for almost every woman without having to go and take painkillers or something else that the doctor recommends that is a drug. DIM is not a drug. It's made mostly of plant extracts and it works beautifully. Okay, so there you go. All right, I did another video that actually I showed you what the DIM bottle looks like. Actually, my wife threw it to me in the video. So check that out. So let's see what we got. I use them, Cynthia Freeman. I know it's good stuff, ain't it, Cynthia? I got to tell you. Okay, LL Lewis. Let's see. It says I got my physical back from the doctor, and it says I have anemia. What should I do to change it? Now, did it say what kind of anemia that you have? Now, when we say anemia, well, truthfully, LL, I don't have to know what kind you got. Now, anemia means that you're vital organs are not getting as much oxygen or nutrients as they're supposed to because something is wrong with your blood or the way it gets to where it's supposed to go. Now, that could be because you have blockages, which I doubt because you said last week that you actually improved your health and you had these tremendous gains as far as the diabetes. Now, to get rid of what you're talking about as far as anemia, this blood condition is completely easy to get rid of. The only thing you need is to rebuild the heme groups that are actually on your blood. You've heard of hemoglobin. Well, hemoglobin has units, and the units actually have to be intact in order for you to attract oxygen so you can deliver oxygen and nutrients to the vital organ it was supposed to go to, like your heart, like your spleen, like your liver, all of those, like your brain. So in order to do that, what do you have to do? You need, again, omega-3 fats. However, you have to intake iron, and you do need this. Now, the best thing to do for if you're anemic is to take something called activated yeast. Okay, some people call it's called activated yeast, or it's called it's activated yeast, or it's another kind of yeast. I'll think of it. It's going to come to me in a minute. Okay. It's all running around up there. So, but it's called activated yeast. Now, when you get that yeast, it is rich. Activated yeast is rich, and it actually helps you to regain your B vitamins, and it is rich in iron. So anything that is wrong as far as anemia, this is the best thing you can use to remedy it. So it's the best thing I found so far. Activated or nutritional yeast. That was the name of it, nutritional yeast. Okay, so either one, they're both the same thing. Don't worry about it, but you can get it from Sprouts or Whole Foods. Okay, if you got one of those near you or next to you. If not, order it off Amazon. They have it too. Okay, what else do we got? All right. The Night App says, I don't know if people are able to eat nothing that comes in a box or a package. That's my secret to health. The Night App, that's right. All right. And I got to tell you, that's what I do as well. I don't eat stuff that comes in a box anymore. I used to be a fiend for cereal. No more. All right. I used to love the mac and cheese, the Kraft mac and cheese that came in a box. No more. So now what I do is I'll go out and eat every once in a while, but most of the stuff I eat, I get it organic, it's raw. I either add a little bit of heat to it, or I try to barely cook it so I don't cook all the nutrients out of it. Some stuff you can cook to death, like tomatoes, carrots, you can stew those because they actually give you more nutrients the more you cook them. But stuff that's really light, like spinach, kale, stuff like, if you're cooking that, you just want to add a little bit of heat just to break it down and immediately take it off the heat. And it's not supposed to be high heat at that. So very good. So I like that. So that is the correct thing to do when you're trying to get healthy. Get off the processed, get off the box, get off the packaged stuff, and go right to the plant-based, healthy, organic, nutritional options that you have available to you, because I want those. When you keep buying them, they keep making them. When you don't buy them, it goes away. And now none of us can enjoy the fruits of the fruit and the vegetables. Okay, here we go. Let me see who else I got in here. Okay. Let me see. Yes. Unfortified nutritional yeast. Gotcha. All right. So you got it. Good stuff. All right. So good stuff. French says exactly. I like that. Good stuff. All right. And I was looking over. I should have looked over there early. Somebody had tried to look it up for me. So thank you guys. Thank you for looking it up. All right. So let me see. It says, thanks, Alvin. We needed this like last week. You're a lifesaver. All right, Vince. Good stuff. I'm glad you all are getting some value out of it. So that's what I like. Now, oh man, I've been on for 32 minutes. I love it. And I got to do something else. Shoot. I was having technical problems. I got on a little late today. So I can't stay on too much longer, but we'll get a few more questions in here if we can. How do you get rid of hay fever allergies? Hay fever doesn't matter. Allergies in general are what you're trying to get rid of. So if you have an allergy, that means you have a resistance. It means your basophils, your white blood cell, it's called a basophil, is over-responding to a stimulus that's happening outside of your body. Now, if you have hay fever or stuff like that, you can easily get rid of allergies because allergies happen at the cellular level, meaning that your DNA is fundamentally changed, and that's why you're stuck with it for a long period of time. And most people think for the rest of your life. No, if you develop an allergy, you can get rid of an allergy. There's nothing hard to it. All you have to do is change your diet and stop eating adjuvants. Okay. And when I say adjuvants, I mean, people think that they are actually doing good by eating salad at a restaurant. No, first of all, the salad dressing has a bunch of sugar in it. And then the lettuce that you're getting has been sprayed with herbicides and pesticides and stuff that is detrimental to you. And then you develop an allergy. Most people in the United States get vaccinated. So vaccines are responsible for most intolerances in a human being, like hay fever allergy, like peanut allergies, anything that milk allergies, everything that human beings are allergic to, it's caused usually by a vaccine or the extreme adjuvants and chemicals that are found in foods. So what you do, get rid of those, flush your system, and within about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no matter how long you've had it, don't give me, oh, I've had it for a long time, so it's going to take a long time to get rid of it. No, body has a 10-to-1 recovery ratio. So if you abuse it for 10 years, you take care of it for 1, and it comes all the way back to normal. That means that all you have to do is get rid of the poison food, get rid of the adjuvants, get rid of the chemicals, the additives, preservatives, and just do natural plant-based, organic for about 2-3 weeks. You'll notice that your hay fever goes away. If you want to make that happen faster, start off with a water fast where you're drinking nothing but water for 3 to 5 days. I don't recommend a longer fast because you've never done it before. So if you do a 3-day fast and you find that you can do it without eating and you don't have these ravenous cravings, in which you will the first 2 days, that's why people like to go 5 instead of 3, because after the second day, you pretty much are overeating and now your body can reset almost everything. And now instead of glycolysis, your body undergoes ketosis, and now you use fat for energy instead of sugar. Okay, so good stuff. Good stuff. Let me see. I probably got one of my students or a couple of my students on here. So good stuff. Good stuff. I like this. All right. Let me see. It says the test said that red blood cells were high. All right. MCHC is low. The MPV is high. The high density, low density, high is high. If those were what you're asking about, Alvin, relating to anemia. So yes. Okay. Now, what he's saying is RBC red blood cells. As far as these. Okay. Yes. Variable, okay. And really, high density and low density proteins don't mean anything. They're supposed to balance in your body. So if they're both high, that's good. All right, they're supposed to match no matter where they are inside the reading. All right, so now as far as the red blood cells, that means that you have polycythemia, meaning that you have too many red blood cells floating throughout your body, meaning that they're not being disposed of. That means you're going to have to fix or clean up your spleen, because the spleen, which is found on the left side of your abdomen here, crushed up against your rib cage. Your spleen there is supposed to clean out all of the dead red blood cells. But if you have high red blood cell count, that means that they're not being broken down and or disposed of the way that they're supposed to be. That's a function of your spleen and your lymphatic system. So both of them have to get going. How's your activity level, LL, as far as that is concerned? Because the more circulation you have, the more your lymphatic system works, and the better that your spleen can actually clean itself. Do you have regular bowel movements? Do you sweat and does salt come out in your sweat? We got to make sure that everything with your lymphatic system is working properly to make sure that you can get rid of this particular condition. Okay, so just let me know a little bit more about that. Okay, yes. Now, Sweet Lady says, I rarely go to restaurants anymore. Bad oils, bad healthy food. All right. Yep, you're right. And lab-grown meat on top of that. People don't wash their hands either. You're right. They don't. Tracy Norm back in the house. Is magnesium good for blood pressure and an underactive thyroid? Yes, it is. And for the underactive thyroid, I would say iodine as well, if you can incorporate it. So if nobody ever told you that your kidneys are weak, do the iodine, 2%. All right. They usually recommend Lagol's 2% iodine. That's the one I use. So, but you don't have to go crazy with iodine. 1-2 drops usually goes a long way as far as thyroid is concerned. However, when you are talking about thyroid, when we give you iodine, it works for the thyroid only because your adrenal glands incorporated and actually make the corticoids necessary to make your thyroid work correctly and make T3 and T4 release the way they're supposed to be. Now, don't get it wrong here. Thyroid problems are never a thyroid problem. It's always a balance problem. And that balance has to do with your thyroid and your adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys. So just throw that out there. All right. So never think it's a thyroid. It's actually something else. Okay, Lady B in the house. Okay, it says 1986. Lady B says, I don't eat the processed normal mac and cheese in the grocery store. I make mine from scratch with whole foods that are keto approved. The noodles I use are made of pea protein and almond flour, etc. Man, Lady B, I wish more people would do that, because that is the way to go. I've stopped being lazy as far as buying my food out. I like to do it at home. I like to cook it at home. So yes, I do. So, let me see. Maybe that was it. I knew I heard a ding somewhere. Let me see. My wife is, yep, she's almost here. Okay, so because we're going out to dinner. All right. And when we go out to dinner, well, guess what we're going to have? Organic salads from a place that makes organic salads, gluten-free breads and stuff like that. So you find these places, find them. Now, if you don't have the money, we can't make you healthy because we can't have you in the Whole Foods like sticking stuff in your shirt and all right. I can't have you do it. I don't want you to go to jail, but make sure that you guys do the best you can. Okay. I know sometimes the stuff is expensive. Sometimes you can't sit down and eat every meal out at a fancy restaurant. Sometimes you can't get the organic stuff to take home. That's all right. Do the fruits and vegetables. Just make sure you wash them at home. And when you do them under the sink, under that tap water, just let them dry off or dry them off with a towel so you don't drink or eat the tap water that came out. You just want to wash off all that junk as much as you can and eat what you can. So it's better than going the alternative, which is the packaged stuff. Okay. So all right, Lady B, yes, doing it the old school way. I like that. All right, now, one more. I'm going to do one more question, then I got to shout you guys out, and I'm going to get out of here. So let's see. Frenchie asked a question. She says, give us more info on high white blood cell count. Now, your white blood cells, these are cells that actually elevate and they are almost non-existent until you get an infection. Now, if you have high white blood cell count, it means one of two things. First of all, you're infected. Sometimes you don't know what that is. It could be a bacteria, it could be a virus, it could be an algae, it could be a fungus, it could be a protozoa. Those are the 5 things that infect a human being. Now, if it's any one of those, you can fix those. But remember, antibiotics only kill bacteria. You have to, for a virus, you got to take an antiviral. For a protozoa, you got to take an anti-protozoan. For algae, you got to take an anti-algae. And for a fungus, you got to take an antifungal. Therefore, the thing that you take has to be specific for that particular thing. See, when you go natural, you can cover whole bases at once because onions and garlic are antiviral and antifungal at the same time. You don't have to take 2 different medications. All right. If you want to get rid of a bacterial infection, which is what most people have, you can do oil of oregano, one of the best antivirals and strongest ones because it's an essential oil, stronger than any medication that you can get either over the counter or by prescription. All right. Because all of our antibiotics are weakened to the point where one won't work for one disease anymore. It doesn't work that way. They're always trying to recommend you a Z-Pack now, and eventually that won't work. So just keep it out there. Now, as far as high white blood cell count, the other reason it might be high is because you are producing ineffective white blood cells in the first place. Like if you have leukemia, like if you have another kind of degenerative blood disorder. If you have white blood cells that are ineffective, it means that they can't find anything. Your brain and your thymus gland, right in the middle of your chest, will determine that there's not enough of these white blood cells coming through that are effective. We're killing them all in the training center. Therefore, your body will try to increase white blood cells, but they will be ineffective. And now what happens? Your brain will say, we need more, we need more. So now all of a sudden your body just keeps pumping and pumping and pumping white blood cells. They're never supposed to be more than 6 to 8% of your total blood volume because that's sufficient to kill almost any infection that comes into your body. That includes Ebola and HIV. However, HIV has the keys to your cell. That's why it can proliferate until you die. Okay, so man-made, I believe, but you believe what you want. All right, now, so that means that you're going to have to fix that problem of inefficient. It means you don't have the building blocks. Usually it means that you're missing your cofactors that actually make things work. And it means that you're missing the building blocks, the things that need to be worked on. That means you're missing a lot of those. For your blood, it's always going to be B vitamins, heme groups, irons, and omega-3s. Those are what build it up. If you want to do that on a large scale, selenium is the best thing you can use to rebuild blood vessels and blood formation, get that back going again. Remember, you have to have the building blocks before you can build the thing that you need. Okay, so white blood cells, they are made out of heme groups, just like red blood cells are, and they are made out of special cofactors. All right, so glutens and things like that. So now I shouldn't say the glutens, glutamic acid. Okay, so we'll say that. So here we go. Uh-oh. All right, so let me answer my wife. I'm going to get to her right quick. Here you go, baby. All right, so now let's go ahead and It says, hey, we should all meet up one day, Alvin, and make it happen. We should. All right. I know. I love it. So I would love to put on put an event together here in Las Vegas, because I know everybody likes to come to Las Vegas and get together so that we can actually discuss things in person and actually help each other out in person, learn what everybody else does and see what works best for us when we take this whole notebook full of notes that we could as far as that is concerned. So I'm going to have to get out of here right now because my wife will be walking in any second now. And I want to make sure that you guys get what you're supposed to get as far as the answer. So if I missed anybody, I do apologize. All right. I do appreciate your question, and I will get to it the next time. All right. So if you leave me a message, I don't have anywhere to leave me a message because I can't answer the stuff on YouTube anymore because there's way too many, and my email is full because it's blocked. So I got an autoresponder going out on my email as far as that. So I appreciate all of you coming by. I love you guys, and I really do appreciate the way you guys are taking this seriously. You are actually putting an action plan together as far as getting your body back the way it was. Really, I like talking about what you did over the holidays. I like talking about and answering you guys' question, but I really love talking about the way that you guys fixed your health with regard to the information that you learned here, and not necessarily from me. So I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me on your Friday evening. I know you could have been doing anything else, but you were here, you were asking questions, and you're trying to do the best thing for your possible health. I'm going to shout out a few people, then we're going to get out of here so my wife doesn't kill me when she gets here. All right, so here we go. All right, Lady B in the house. Lady B, keep on doing what you're doing as far as the healthy stuff, as far as making your own healthy organic food, vegan food, because that is the way to go. And I've been doing that a lot lately myself. I've been following Chef Keaty's book, The Personal Chef, the Les Brown. I actually met him in person. I bought his book from him, and I am practicing some of these vegan recipes that he has in the book, and they are way more tasty than the original version. Most people don't know that. So let me get some more. Cynthia, yes, all of us can get together and come to Vegas. That's what I'm talking about. Speedy Watt 71, Sweet Lady 0512. Okay, I like it. Back in the house. Sharon's Poetry Corner. I love it. Helen Riley in the house. Joseph, I appreciate you coming by. Was that Highway? Frenchie, all right. She is actually I appreciate every time you come by, Frenchie. That is good stuff. Hey, 123, thank you for coming by. LL, get yourself together, man. You are on your way because you did it with the diabetes, and now you're going to do it as far as the anemia. Go ahead, brother. I love it. Okay, let's get another one. Who else is on here? Velo, have a good night. You as well, Velo. I appreciate it. His Way 95, one of the first people in here. Good stuff. Hey, Non-Doc. Minister Slow Stroker, I got you this time, man. So, love you. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So, if anybody else wants me to, Silas. All right, so good stuff. We are out of here. Good night. All right, thank you to Night App. Mike Charles in the house from San Antonio. Mike, we're getting out of here. Kenners, thank you for coming to us from overseas. I really do appreciate it every time you jump on here. I really do love it. And guess what? I can't remember the man's name. I think his name is Charles. He's been leaving some really good posts on our Facebook page, which was No White Coats Allowed. One of you gave me that name. So I did actually enjoy and use that. So I appreciate the idea and the incorporation of your idea and letting me ride with that as far as the group is concerned. So Alan Downing, Michelle, Fred Dawson, it's 2000. Thank you guys for coming by. Salas, good stuff. Thank you guys for coming by. I really do appreciate your time, and have a happy Friday. Enjoy your new year. Do some great things with this year, but we're going to be right here with you to take you through 2019 and probably beyond. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great and interesting life and great and interesting Friday night, and I'll see you guys next time. So I'm out of here. Peace. Have a good one. Health to everybody.